Why? Well, there's a real air of anticipation now growing around the huge Maracanã Stadium here in Rio, in Brazil, as we await the arrivals in a few minutes' time of the two teams who will contest what's really the final of the America Cup, being played on a league basis, but as it's turned out, this one will decide which of the two teams will be the winners of the America Cup. Will it be Brazil here or Uruguay? Uruguay, who've won the championship more than anybody else. But Brazil haven't won the America Cup for 40 years now. Quite amazing, really, when you think of their success in world terms. So the two teams, in fact, coming out onto the field now. And we'll look through them in more detail in a few minutes' time. But we've had no goals from the first game, but we've certainly had some from earlier matches in the final round. Let's enjoy now some from the Brazilians. Well done, let's have a look at one or two of these as they're going in. That's the cross from Silas and the header from Bebeto.
Yeah, well, he's a new player to me, Bebeto. I mean, he's only come into the Brazilian side, I would think, in the last couple of seasons. And he looks a hell of a good player. I mean, he's not big, but it's a little bit like Tosteo in many ways. Receives the ball well, gets on the back post. And hell of a good left foot shot as well, as we saw there.
He has scored 6 goals in this tournament.
In many ways reminds me of Tosteo.
There's one coming up now for Romario.
This lad's a good attacking fullback, Mazinho.
Mario sticking out the leg.
I mean, that type of cross is difficult, and a lot of their goals have come from crosses. That type of cross, the hard-driven cross to the near post, difficult for defenders to stop. It only needs a toe by the forward and it's in the net.
And looking through the Brazilian side and the talent they have too, waiting on the bench, some names that we've really enjoyed seeing. But first, let's look at the lineup here for Uruguay, and just glancing through that, it seems to be the same side that's played in the earlier matches in this final round. Ruben Paz has been outstanding in midfield. Ruben Sosa, 2 goals from him against the Argentines. Francescoli, who's been impressive too, of course, one of the great names in world football. Was the Brazilian coach Sebastian Lazaroni. But just looking at the Brazilian names, we haven't seen their lineup yet, but we'll presume it's going to be much the same. And they really do have some outstanding players at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean, they've got 2 super attacking fullbacks now. Mazinho, the right back, and Branco, the left back.
Here's the team now, just to interrupt you there, and just looking through, it's going to be the same side indeed that played against Paraguay.
3 midfield players are absolutely outstanding. Silas, Dunga and Valdo. Dunga is the playmaker. He's the new Zico in the Brazilian midfield. Gets all the ball, changes the play, all the playmaking, it goes through Dunga. Silas makes the runs. He's the fella getting forward, making runs through the centre of the defence and round the sides of the defence. And Valdo keeps it all together there for them. He's the fella who keeps the discipline. And obviously up front with Bebeto and Romario. I mean, there's danger every time. I mean, the times against Paraguay when, you know, just with the bounce of the ball stopped them getting goals. I mean, lovely touch, lovely skills in tight situations in the box.
Well, the opposition are no mean side either. Uruguay have impressed us all with their displays so far. And here we can see some of their best moments. And this was the run against Paraguay. A little rush of blood to the head from Fernandez, but Sosa and then Francescoli with a great finish.
Well, without a doubt, I mean, he is the danger, Sosa. I don't know what the Brazilians will do with him. I can't see them man-for-man marking him. That's their style, but they're going to have to keep him out of this game.
He's very hard to contain. He pops up all over the field.
Yes, he has the freedom of the pitch. He can work on both flanks. All left-footed, but lovely play.
This is Alzamendi, the second goal against Paraguay.
Alzamendi's got all the experience. He gets on the end of all the stuff that Ruben Paz and Sosa create. Good player, Alzamendi.
This is the third goal, and this is Ruben Paz, showing he can finish as well as create.
They've got to keep him off that left foot up. You know, down that left side, when Sosa and Paz get together, you know, they combine off each other great, and they get it into Alzamendi, and they create chances that way.
Well, here is Sosa at work again.
He read that. He read that the defender was under pressure, and he got on the end of that pass back. You know, he knew the defender would have to poke it back towards the goalkeeper. He got onto it, rounded the keeper, stuck it away. And watch this dummy on the halfway line. He touches the ball 4 times when he's running here. 2, 3.
And they can't catch him.
4, and the 5th in the net.
That's a brilliant goal from Ruben Sosa.
Lovely little dummy on the halfway line to beat the defender, and then they were never going to catch him. And he held the defender to challenge him in the box. He held him off great.
Well, the match is now underway. And Uruguay are kicking from right to left in the blue shirts and dark shorts. And now the atmosphere tremendous around the stadium. So many talented players on view. Branco for Brazil. This is Valdo. Good turn of speed by him. But we've seen in the tournament how strong, Don, the Uruguayans are at the back. The defense built around De Leon.
This is going to be a good test for the Brazilians. If they are building a good team, and from a distance it does seem that way, because of these new names that have come into the scene. If they do well tonight, they've got a team, because they are playing perhaps against one of the most toughest, hardest man-for-man markers of all the countries in South America.
Herrera. Offside though against Ruben Sosa, who started off anyway down the right flank, but he'll pop up all over the place. Mauro Galvao. This is Silas. Both teams have scored 5 goals and haven't conceded any in the final round of matches, and Brazil are unbeaten overall in the tournament. Uruguay had a little bit more of a struggle to come through from their qualifying group. But here's Francescoli, just dancing round his opponent then.
Well, that's the man who's going to rival Dunga. I mean, in the middle of the pitch, it's who's going to get hold of this game. Is it going to be Francescoli or is it going to be Dunga? And to be honest, Francescoli's got all the experience. You know, he's played in South America, he's played in Europe, he knows it all.
It's a fascinating prospect, but then there are many intriguing confrontations that are going to go on all over the field. There's Perdomo, who always looks very relaxed but in control in the heart of the midfield.
I think what you will see in the Brazilian team, which is interesting to me, they have changed their style a little bit, is that they balance their play between a short passing build-up and then all of a sudden a long passing build-up. You know, they're getting the balance right.
Herrera for Uruguay, teasing cross, testing Taffarel, who was equal to the task. Mazinho for Brazil. Is Silas. So many fine combinations down the right from Brazil in the first 2 matches.
The running off the ball in the first 2 games was absolutely superb down this right side. Silas was going, Mazinho was going, and at the end of it they got some good crosses in.
Free kick to Brazil.
Well, that's the first sign, Peter. Romario's telling the referee now what's going on. You know, I mean, they know he can play, they know he's got the skill to go by them. this is going to find out what he's made of, because he's got to perform in this atmosphere against this type of player.
Branco with the free kick for Brazil. That's the wall facing him. And Branco can really blast them. A long, long way out. Alzamendi to Sosa. But here's Branco. Great skill. Juggling the ball from one foot to the other. And he was fouled. Dunga.
The referee will be, I think the referee will be important as well, Peter. Obviously, we don't want him stopping the game every 2 seconds, but he's got to clamp down on the Uruguayans if they start overdoing it.
Well, they've got just about everybody back behind the ball at the moment. Here's Valdo. So many skillful players in the Brazilian side, so many who can produce something out of the ordinary. But Uruguay with match winners themselves, the likes of Sosa and Francescoli. An absorbing contest. Another free kick. Foul by De Leon on Valdo. And that one was off the ball. The Uruguayans arguing.
So this is a continental trick to kind of surround the referee and try and confuse the referee by a lot of voices going in at him at different directions, hoping that he can't sort it out. If he's a good referee, he'll stop it. De Leon's a better player than that. There's no need for him to do that.
I think he might have felt there that Valdo was looking for that. There's the shot. Well saved too by Zioli. Looked rather to me as if Valdo ran into him rather than De Leon.
Yeah, he put his foot out and tried to, yeah.
There you are. No matter.
Well, I mean, they couldn't have, let's face it, I mean, the Brazilians are all clean and nice. I mean, you have got 1 or 2 players who'll be playing for free kicks around that box because they know they've got a good chance of scoring. They put a lot of practice in on dead ball situation, especially on free kicks around the box. So anywhere around the box, they'll be taking people on and going into groups of defenders, trying to fall over outstretched legs.
Here's De Leon. Aldair, number 14 for Brazil. This is Valdo. Little 1-2 with Romario. Valdo tricking Herrera well. Romario wanted to control it. Somehow he has the time to do that. It's quite incredible.
Well, his first touch wasn't good, really. He didn't drop in the right place, but he dropped in a place where he could get a left toe at it. He never really got all of that luck, but he'd confused the defender and just jabbed at it.
But he's prepared to try things around the 6-yard area, which really would be beyond other players.
He gets them down in the box. I mean,
quite amazing.
He can be surrounded by defenders. He gets them down in the box.
Romario and Bebeto, who've scored all the goals so far in the final matches for Brazil. Branco. Bebeto. Branco. Brazil knocking the ball around sweetly. Way by De Leon. De Leon and Gutierrez are the 2 central defenders for Uruguay. There's Alzamendi to Sosa. Valdo tackling back, and they'll be well aware of the threat that Sosa poses. Will Brazil? Osterlaza. Francescoli, beaten though by Dunga. And Dunga, while being a very skillful player, is also a very competitive one. And he'll do his fair share of tackling in midfield too, will Dunga. To Silas. Mazinho. They love to show their skills to the Brazilians. But will they have enough to overcome Uruguay here? So well organised, so dangerous on the break. Osterlaza, towering figure in the midfield for Uruguay. De Leon. Spread it through then for Paz. Dominguez couldn't get there. It's Aldair. Dunga. To Silas. What a good player Silas has looked in this tournament. Some suggestion that he might not have made their first 11. Giovanni looked to have been the first choice, but we gather he's had disciplinary problems and has not got his place in the team. So Silas has taken his chance exceptionally well. Throw to Brazil. Herrera disputing the decision. Mauro Galvao, all the way back to Taffarel. One of the Brazilian players who still plays his club football in his home country. Dunga here, plays for Fiorentina in Italy. Valdo, number 9 in the picture there for Benfica. This is Mazinho. He's from Vasco da Gama. Crowded out though. Off goes Sosa, unsuccessfully this time. Dunga. Brazil calling the tune in the early stages. Valdo's run curtailed by Dominguez. Just over 10 minutes gone. No goals. Valdo did so well then to get to the line. And Zioli showing the kind of competent goalkeeping that he's displayed throughout this tournament. Herrera. Now De Leon. Ruben Paz. Francesco Lee in for Sosa. And they were so quick to close him down then. Dunga got in the tackle. And here's Silas on the counter-attack for Brazil. Bebeto is forward too. A rather casual pass, which asked an awful lot of Branco. Branco, who was voted the outstanding Brazilian from the qualifying games, first group of matches, from which Brazil came through in second place behind Paraguay. Uruguay was second behind Argentina from their group. Bebeto. Valdo couldn't wriggle free. It's Dunga. Aldair. Brazilians with a lot of possession in this first 12 minutes. Ricardo there is number 6, one of their defenders. Romario, policed though by De Leon. And as we expected, Don, the Uruguayans looking very composed and well organised at the back.
Yes, they'll mark Romario and Bebeto a lot better than what the Paraguayans will, and you know, they'll shut down around the box. You know, they'll give them no space at all around their box.
Dunga for Brazil. Straight though to Paz. This is Perdomo.
Those two big lads in midfield for Uruguay, Perdomo and Ostalazi, 5 and 15. Christ, they take no prisoners. They don't give a thing away.
Perdomo, in fact, was captain of the Uruguay side back in '87. Then only 22. And Ostalazi was voted man of the match in the World Club Championship final. Won by Nacional when they beat PSV Eindhoven of Holland. The club for whom Romario now plays, although I think he was ineligible for that competition, if indeed he was with PSV then. He only joined during the season. Dunga. Looks terrific on the ball, Dunga. Valdo's pass. Here's Branco, as ever, supporting down the left. Now for Silas, he's got an explosive shot. Mazinho was almost in his way then. Here's Bebeto. Beaten though by Francescoli. And he was then fouled by Bebeto. Perdomo for Uruguay. 15 minutes gone. It's still Brazil 0, Uruguay 0. In this game that amounts to the final of the America Cup. I say amounts to because the last few games have been played on a league basis. As it's turned out, this one will decide which of these two teams will be the champions of South America. Will it be Brazil, the host nation, or Uruguay, the defending champions? Herrera. Here's Sosa, immediately surrounded by Brazilians. And it was Dunga who got it away. Romario to Valdo. Now Silas. Romario. Jumping the tackles, but couldn't evade that one from Ostalazi. Free kick to Brazil. Taken by Branco. Valdo. Branco's cross, far too close though to Zioli. Francescoli has come deep now. Uruguay as yet not posing too many questions as an attacking force, but we've seen from them in earlier games how menacing they can be on the break. And they have the players to expose any lack of concentration at the back from the Brazilians. This is Herrera. Perdomo. Good player, this fella. Doesn't find Sosa. Ricardo from Benfica had gone with him.
They keep going, the Uruguayans, you know, they withstand all the pressure and they just keep soaking it up and they keep going back and going back. They're very patient and all of a sudden they'll create a chance. All of a sudden it'll come for them and somebody like Sosa will be in, or Alzamendi will be in.
But it's Silas now for Brazil, taking the game to Uruguay. Silas again. Herrera will be there first though for Uruguay. Good use of the space and the ball from Herrera. Alzamendi with Aldair. Trying to turn it back to Taffarel. And Alzamendi did enough then to...
Well, he never packed him, did he? He kept chasing, he kept chasing. He made the defender make a decision. And it looks as though the goalkeeper didn't know what to do. He's given a foul.
Little hard there, I would have thought,
yes,
Alzamendi.
Yes.
But here come Brazil again. Here's Dunga. Now Mazinho. Silas. Dunga. Wanting support. Uruguayans, as you can see, with everybody back in their own half. Quite happy to contain Brazil if they can, and then spring quickly into attack. They look to do that now. Here's Paz. Dominguez to De Leon. De Leon from Nacional, the World Club champions. Francescoli. An enthralling contest. And no breakthrough as yet for either side. Free kick though to Uruguay. For anyone just joining us, the first game, the playoff for third and fourth place, as it turned out, finished in a 0-0 draw. Argentina 0, Paraguay 0. Same situation here at the moment. But a different kind of game. Alzamendi trying to wriggle in.
It's the first time we've seen Herrera, the Uruguayan right back, come forward. Against Argentina, he created a lot of chances for other players and for himself. He has the ability, when he does get forward, to run with the ball and take people on.
That was his throw. Branco. And the free kick given to Uruguay. Here's Sosa. Down he goes. Clearly, the Brazilians are very worried about Ruben Sosa, and well, they might be. With those two stunning goals, two tremendous strikes against Argentina. And so instrumental too in the victory over Paraguay. Ruben Sosa, who plays for Lazio in Italy. He's hovering near the ball now. Paz touching it off to him. Sosa's shot off the Brazilian defender, and it'll be a corner to Uruguay. "13 times they've won the America Cup, have Uruguay. The last just 2 years ago. They won it in '83 as well. They're hoping to retain the trophy here in Brazil's backyard, the Maracanã Stadium. Brazil, the host nation, unbeaten so far, but at full stretch here against Uruguay. Paz with the corner. A real test this for Brazil. So much promise for them. And this is going to be the measure of just how good the side is, potentially anyway. No place in the side for Alemao, the Napoli player. More for Baltazar, leading goal scorer in Spanish football. So that's an idea of the strength of the Brazilian squad at the moment. Bebeto combining with Romario, with Silas rather. It's a very tight contest, as we expected it would be. Foul on Branco. Dunga. Laid off by Romario instinctively, but then given away to Alzamendi. Dunga withstood the tackle so well. Here's Valdo. He wanted on his right foot. Still Valdo. Called it just past the post. He looked very cool.
He worked a nice position there. I think everybody thought he'd slip this fellow overlapping here, and comes inside and cracks with his right foot. There goes the runner.
They can attack from all angles, Brazil.
Yeah, well, it's that running off the ball that makes the opening for other players.
Sosa for Uruguay. Valdo. Romario. Elegant skill.
In those screening positions, he uses his backside very well. Take all the knocks and the bumps.
Mazinho. Alzamendi on the break. Wants to take on Aldair. He took him down as well. The referee hopefully will keep it going. He has allowed the advantage, just making sure that little altercation didn't turn into anything more serious. Alzamendi had no chance of getting there, but he had the confidence to try. Silas. Francescoli. Aldair. Going on for Valdo. Bebeto. Got to be a free kick. Foul by Herrera.
Well, this is what we're talking about. This spells danger for Uruguay.
Set up by Valdo. That sudden change of direction onto his left foot this time. He's mainly right-footed, Valdo, but he showed he can use his left too. And Bebeto so dangerous, and Uruguay for taking no chances. So, what will Brazil try here? The experts from the set piece down the years. We've talked in earlier games about the great names who've bent in the banana kicks. Pelé, Garrincha, Tostão, Rivellino, so many. And Junior still doing it in the Italian league for Pescara now. In the veteran stage, Junior, but I was seeing some film of one or two he scored recently in the old style. There's Bebeto! And I'll tell you what, that wasn't far away. Got a real eye for the goalers, this young fella. Curled round. And that's brought a buzz around the ground. Brazil, they're getting to fire now. Bebeto, scorer of 6 goals in the tournament, and apparently heading for Bayern Munich. It looks as if they're extremely keen on him, and that he could be joining them soon. 0-0, but a very eventful first half, and it's developing into an excellent final. Francescoli. Easily cut out by Aldair. Here's Silas. Dunga. Spotted Branco down the left, but played instead to Romario. Paz caught in possession. Silas working so hard. Mazinho. Foul on Silas and a yellow card for Ostolaza.
Well, that's about Ostolaza's 5th free kick is given away. since the start of the game. The referee's got to clamp down on him. He's a big awkward customer.
Dunga for Brazil. Still attacking whenever the opportunity arises, and Dunga, who can strike a ball with some power, didn't really get hold of that one. Perdomo for Uruguay. Just over a quarter of an hour of the first half remaining. Very sloppy play then by Perdomo. You can't afford that sort of error against this Brazilian side of such quality. Dominguez with Francesco Lee. Still Dominguez. Sliding tackle to deny him. So a corner to Uruguay. Alzamendi will take it for them. In the veteran stage now, Alzamendi, but still a class player. Former South American Footballer of the Year from a few years back. Brazil get it clear. Valdo. Silas. Offside. Romario.
Valdo and Silas for Brazil do a lot of running down the flanks. You know, because they're virtually playing without wingers. I mean, they play Romario up and Bebeto up. Silas and Valdo do a hell of a lot of runs for them down the flanks. They really work hard, those two boys.
And Valdo in particular has appeared on both sides.
Yes, he has.
Not confined to one side at all. Here's Perdomo. Long ball variation this time, but safely through to Taffarel. This is Aldair. Goes about his job quietly but effectively. Now Mazinho. Dunga. Again, the Uruguayans quite happy to sit back, soak up the pressure. Here's Perdomo. Ruben Paz. De Leon breaking from his defensive role momentarily perhaps, and he's out of position now, sprinting back. Here's Dunga. Valdo wants support outside him. He's got it here from Branco. Here's Romario, leaving it for Mazinho.
That was a hell of a good shot from the right back. I mean, he come round the back of the defence, saw the chance of getting a shot in, and kept it right on the target.
And Zioli with his body right behind the shot. Aldair to Silas. Now Valdo. Here's Branco. No joy for Paz. Francesco Lee. De Leon. Foul on Sosa. Here's Francesco Lee. Sosa's gone off sprinting through the middle. Now down the flank with Aldair following him around. And so far the Brazilians have kept him relatively quiet, Sosa.
Yes, they have. Well, I think what they're doing, they're keeping Ruben Paz quiet, and because he's the man who's the feeder. You know, Sosa works off Ruben Paz, and I think if they keep Ruben Paz quiet, you'll find that Sosa won't get on the end of his play.
Mazinho. And he's got the corner. Or has he? The Uruguayans don't agree with that decision. The linesman might on the spot.
I didn't think it was a corner either.
Well, the referee does. He's the one that counts. And it's going to be a corner to Brazil. Which Branco will take. Away for another corner, under pressure, Herrera. A little bit of argy-bargy going on in the 6-yard box. Gutierrez involved there, and Herrera. Aldair for Brazil. And they'll be looking to their defenders, Brazil, rather than perhaps the front players. Romario and Bebeto, not the tallest of players, but they've got Aldair in there, one of their defenders. They won't reach him like that. Mauro Galvao. Dunga. Perdomo to Francescoli.
They're also closing down Francescoli. They're not giving him any space either. And I think if you do that, I think if you stop Paz and you stop Francescoli, obviously Sosa and Alzamendi, there's no service for them.
10 minutes to half-time. It's Brazil 0, Uruguay 0. This the final match in the America Cup to decide the South American Football Championship. Two outstanding sides, and they're level at the moment. Perdomo. Here's Valdo. Now for Branco. Off goes Valdo down the left flank ahead of him. De Leon. Got caught for once. Bebeto. The Branco. Branco decides to go it alone. Strong tackle though from Perdomo. Down goes Herrera, somewhat dramatically.
Play acting, he just pushed against his chest and he went down to...
I think Branco's going to be in trouble though. He's got the yellow card. Not sure that the referee was that convinced about the dive. There's the tackle from Perdomo, and now Herrera. There's a push, and down goes Herrera, as if he'd been hit by a large pole or something. Don't think it was that badly hurt.
Crazy, crazy. Just pushed him against his chest. Just play acting to try and get him sent off.
Now the air. Oh, Pizzioli.
Actually, these two Brazilian fullbacks remind me a lot of the 1950 fullbacks, the Santos. They were not brothers because one was white and one was black. There was Dalmar Santos, the right back, and there was Nilton Santos, the left back. And they were the same as these two. The right back was black and the left back was white. And they were super players going forward as well, just like Branco and Mazinho.
It does give them so many extra options, doesn't it, when you've got players like that on the flanks. Francescoli, a player of blistering pace, but they've kept a fairly tight rein on him. Have Brazil, as indeed they have on Sosa and Paz. As Don Howell was saying, in particular, Paz is the man they have to keep quiet. He provides the service to the likes of Sosa and Francescoli. Free kick though to Uruguay. Herrera to take it. Alzamendi is in there. Here's Sosa. Swinging the ball across. Path to goal was blocked. A sea of Brazilian defenders. Yellow card for Sosa.
Well, he's trying to clamp down. He's trying to get them to cut it out. And, I mean, the feet going quite wild at times.
The game has just got a little untidy in the last few minutes, as Brazil look to regain their fluency, their rhythm, their cohesion. Here they come now, but you can't be cohesive when tackles like that are coming in all the time. Ricardo brought down this time. Breaking free from his defensive role for Brazil. 5 minutes to half-time. 0-0. Ziyoli and his teammates have some defending to do against this free kick. Might be a chance for Dunga or Branco perhaps to try one. Long way out. Valdo is there too. The shot cannons off the wall. Romario jumping. And illegally, it's a free kick to Uruguay.
They're a very tall team, Uruguay, and obviously with those free kicks, they can build a wall with a lot of height, so it's going to be difficult to score those free kicks. They'll keep at it. I mean, the Brazilians won't pack it in, but it's not going to be easy.
And as we expected, Uruguay providing much stiffer opposition than Paraguay or indeed Argentina, who have been disappointing in the tournament. Francesco Lee with De Leon. Not a bad player to have on your side, De Leon. But here's Romario now with Herrera. And as well as being a very adventurous fullback, he's also a pretty competent defender too.
Romario is not the player to chase those balls over the top. He hasn't got pace, Romario. He's got terrific skill, balls in defeat. You get the balls to him and he's got some fantastic touches and twists and turns. But he's not the one to chase those long balls. He doesn't have any pace at all.
Bebeto got away from Paz. Here's Romario, down he goes.
I thought his first touch wasn't good enough there. I think he miscontrolled the ball.
I think he was looking for Herrera then, and Herrera found him. But Herrera almost stood off there.
Yes.
But a free kick it is. As the end of the first half approaches. Ziyoli, certainly the busier of the two goalkeepers. Branco! Oh, Ziyoli with magnificent goalkeeping. Branco getting hold of that one all right. Beating the wall, and Ziyoli holding on.
For some unknown reason, they only put 3 men in the wall. I mean, I find that quite amazing against the Brazilians.
He really cracked that one.
And the thing about their free kick taking is they're not afraid to fail. You know, they'll keep having a go, they'll keep having a go. I mean, if they knock them high, wide, and handsome, the next time, bump down, the ball goes down and someone else steps up and has a go. But I was just surprised with only 3 men in the wall there.
Away by Aldair. Mazinho. Tried to evade Francescoli, but couldn't keep the ball in play. This fellow Ziyoli's some goalkeeper though, isn't he?
Yes, he's been very impressive all the way through. Good handling, good agility for a big man as well.
Paz. Mazinho. Beaten though by Sosa. Sosa fouled. The referee will want that free kick taken again, as Perdomo got a clattering. So a real battle out there. Uruguay have defended for much of the first half, but now looking to show the more positive side of their game here. Paz with the cross in. Free kick though to Brazil. And they're in possession now with Mazinho. Valdo trying his luck on the right. Here's Silas. Very strong. Just a few seconds of the first half to go, plus any time that the referee has added on for stoppages. Shouldn't think there'll be too much of that. Ricardo's pass finds Branco. Romario to Silas, no, Valdo. Mazinho back in, but straight into a posse of blue-shirted defenders. A shot well wide, hoots of derision from the crowd. Dunga with the shot.
I think the crowd again just a little bit frustrated. I think they thought that because they played so well against Paraguay that they would perhaps be in the lead by now. But they're up against completely different opposition.
Certainly against a goalkeeper right out of the top drawer, this fellow Zioli. The end of the first half, an absorbing contest certainly. Brazil with perhaps the better chances. Uruguay one or two moments at the other end, but they've soaked up the pressure and they've looked to contain them and then catch them on the break. So at half-time, no goals here. We'll of course be back with all of the second half for you, but right now we're going to take a short break.
This is SCREENSPORT, the European sports network, leading the field in sports television.
You can't use a stepladder to get off the roof, a straight ladder to change a light bulb, and neither is advised for painting ceilings. So here's Super Step. It's every ladder you may ever need and more. It's a tough...
Welcome back to the Maracanã Stadium in Rio, in Brazil. And that's the half-time score then. It's Brazil 0, Uruguay 0. Brazil really with most of the possession in the first half, but they haven't found the breakthrough as yet. And I think, Don Howe, alongside me here, really a question of the individuals we were talking about earlier on being cancelled out by either team. That's
right. I think both teams have done their homework well, and it's going exactly how you would expect it to. I mean, obviously the crowd want Brazil to be in front, and they've got to be frustrated at the end, but see, what's happening there is that, first of all, Brazil are making sure that Ruben Paz and Franciscoli don't start things off. They're not really worried about Perdomo or Osterlazi. They know they can't hurt them. And the same the other way about. I mean, Dunga's not getting much space. Valdo's having to go right wing, left wing to try and get something to go. Romario, because they know it's all close skill within, they're shutting him down with one or two players straight away. So both teams are well organised. And I think it's going to be a very patient game. Well, Brazil have their eyes, of course, also on the World Cup, and this match will serve as some preparation towards their opening game in the qualifying rounds. That's against Venezuela, a match you can see here on SCREENSPORT from Caracas, and that is on the 30th of July. So a game there to look forward to, Venezuela against Brazil. So let's look back then on one or two of the highlights, and most of them have certainly been in the Uruguayan penalty area. The better chances have fallen to Brazil. And this was the first one we can see here coming up now, a chance for Romario.
We thought he'd lost it there initially,
Well,
but he still got the shot in.
Yeah, they made a nice break down the left side, and his first just wasn't good enough, but it was enough to evade the defender. And then he pokes a toe into it, and just might have got it inside that near post.
Reacted very quickly here, didn't he?
Well, that's what he's good at, that close control.
This is Dunga on the ball here, and Valdo, who feinted to go one way, cuts inside onto his favoured right foot. And that's a blistering shot just past the post.
Branco's made a good run off the ball for him, as though he's overlapping him down that left side. And what he's done is used him, come inside on his right foot. Now he's going into the back post with a bender, with a little bit of pace.
Great effort there from Valdo. And here is the free kick. The Brazilians so dangerous from them. And it's Bebeto curling it round.
Well, it's on the left side of the box, and you always get your right footers over that side to drag the ball over the wall and away from the keeper. And Bebeto takes them always this side. A little bit more practice to get on the target.
Mazinho with a shot then.
Good shot for a right back. I mean, he's crept round the back of the defence, and he's kept it hard and low. And the goalkeeper gets down well. Holds on to it.
Gets his angles right, this fellow, Zioli, in goal. And here's the free kick then from Branco. And you mentioned at the time the Uruguayan wall.
Yeah, for some unknown reason, because of the distance, I don't think they expected anything special like this. And he really cracked it with the outside of his left foot, and it swung round the wall. Watch it. That's with the outside of his left foot.
Branco with tremendous power in that shot, and Zioli again was equal to it. So here we are then, back with live pictures in the Maracanã. The second half will be underway fairly shortly, but before that we're going to take another short break. Join us again in a moment.
There's a whole world of sport out there. Too far away, too spread out, far too diverse for you to possibly keep tabs on. Until you discover SCREENSPORT, the European sports network. Suddenly it comes into focus. Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, China, Czechoslovakia, Europe, Canada, the United States. The whole world of sport before your very eyes. This is SCREENSPORT.
So here we are again then, back at the Maracanã Stadium in Rio for the second half of this, the final game in the America Cup to decide the title. Brazil 0, Uruguay 0. Just to recap for those of you not aware of the situation, the winners here will be the title holders. Uruguay, the defending champions, Brazil, the host nation. Nothing between them then at the end of an intriguing first half, which Don Howe, as England coach, I know you've enjoyed immensely.
I have very much so. I mean, obviously, for the spectators, they want to see goals. Of course they do, and that's important to them. But at the same time, for a coach, you can see what's going on tactically between the two teams, how they've done their homework on different midfield players. Even the Brazilians have clamped down on Ruben Paz and Franciscoli and Sosa, and vice versa. I mean, the Uruguayans are giving Romario no room, they're giving Bebeto no room. Valdo's having to run all over the pitch to try and find some room. So from that point of view, it's a very enjoyable game. It'll be interesting in the second half to see if, when the legs get a little bit tired, see if these good players can find that little bit more space, can get in a position to deliver a good telling ball.
Well, we were wondering at half-time if they might think about bringing on Baltazar, the Brazilians' top goal scorer in the Spanish league. I don't think you've seen too much of him, but his record speaks for itself, 35 goals.
No, I know he's been in Europe the last couple of years, and he's done quite well in Spain.
So he's on the bench, but no Careca, faced with Napoli and Maradona's partner. A great inspiration to Napoli he was during the season. It's difficult to see quite where they fit all these players in up front.
Well, he's hell of a good player, Careca. I would think they've either left him out because they think he's tired or he's got a knock.
Oh, he's got an injury, Correca, yes.
Because I think he's an outstanding goal scorer and a good player up the front. He has ability to run off the ball, he has ability to run with the ball, and he's got a terrific eye for goal.
So the coach, Lazaroni, wondering if his team can go on to win this championship and step up their preparations for the World Cup challenge to follow. That game that you can see on Screen Sport against Venezuela on July the 30th. They're first in the World Cup group. So we're all set then for the second half. Brazil to kick off, now going from right to left. But Uruguay straight away in possession.
Well, they read the kick-off straight away, the Uruguayans. I mean, they tried to just tap it back to a midfield player, and Sosa's onto it straight away.
And it's a throw to Uruguay, which Herrera is going to take. Francesco Lee, beaten though by Dunga. Spreading the play well, finding Mazinho. As ever, patrolling that right flank, and he's gone off, bursting down the wing. Gutierrez cutting it out. Dominguez for Uruguay. Got out there by Taffarel, who hasn't had a great deal to do so far. But the Uruguayans, as we said before, so dangerous on the break. And the Brazilians just can't afford to relax at all. They have attack on their mind for the moment. Branco to Mazinho. Aldair. Valdo. Dunga, first time ball, finding Romario.
That's what they've got to do more of. They've got to get the ball into Romario's feet, because he has got the ability to get turned and get a shot in.
The drums beating loudly around the stadium, hoping to greet a Brazilian success. Remember, they haven't won the America Cup, the South American Championship, for 40 years. Adobo for Uruguay. Francesco Lee. This is Dunga. Ricardo. Now Silas, he's got Mazinho outside him. Still Silas. Right straight into De Leon. Now for Paz. Uruguay continuing their defensive resistance as they ended the first half. And here is the threat of the counter-attack from Sosa. Offside though. Free kick taken quickly. Mazinho. Now Silas. Dunga. Here's Branco. Broken up by Herrera. All look promising till they reach that 18-yard area. space here for Mazinho. It was a very intelligent throw out by Taffarel. Bebeto, back to Mazinho. And a goal! Romario! 1-0 Brazil. Great move. Flowing from defence to attack, all from the throw out from Taffarel. And Romario finishing it superbly.
Well, he did that in the last game, Mazinho, the right back, and he's whipped a ball in there to the near post, and he's lost his marker, Romario, making that run to the near post, and then it's just a gliding touch into the net.
Such a flowing move for the Brazilians.
Very, very
Bebeto,
direct
look at that
move.
pass inside there. Brilliant. What a finish.
Silas and Mazinho working together again.
So 5 minutes into the second half, and Brazil have taken the lead. The cross from Mazinho and the finish from Romario. So Uruguay have got to come from behind. I wonder now if they'll change their approach, whether they'll be more positive, more adventurous, or whether they'll still sit back and hope to catch Brazil on the break. It'll be fascinating to find out, Don.
Well, I mean, straight away they went positive again. I mean, Mazinho was off again straight away as soon as they got the ball. In fact, he for some unknown reason, Dunga changed the play off him and went the opposite side, which let him down a little bit. But I mean, he looks as though he can run all day, that right back.
But a change of tactics from the Uruguayans, will they?
Well, that will be interesting to see that, to see if they throw more people forward from midfield.
Mazinho in inspired mood. Silas. Romario chasing through for Longley this time. But it's hard to defend against that kind of skill.
Yeah, I mean, if it's played, you know, at that pace and so direct, you know, all of a sudden they're down wide, round the sides of the defence, and the ball then is being whipped into the 6-yard box. It's a very difficult thing to stop.
The Brazilian fans now roaring their approval of their team's breakthrough at last in the second half. Uruguay have this free kick taken by Dominguez, away by Aldair at the second attempt. Mazinho stopped this time. Francescoli. Free kick given.
He's got to get more involved now, Francescoli. He's got to show his class.
Tremendous noise around the stadium. Francescoli brought down. The Mexican wave in evidence. And the Brazilian fans hoping to lift their team towards the title. The players are more concerned here about defending this free kick. Harmlessly over the bar. Taffarel untroubled. Wearing an extremely large pair of gloves.
Well, that's the fashion these days,
Isn't it?
It gives him another half-inch on the fingers, the length of the fingers.
Dunga. Crowd cheering their every move, Brazil. But this game is far from over. Uruguay have shown their ability in the earlier matches. And they'll be going all out to find an equaliser. Dominguez with the throw. Uruguay's World Cup qualifying group pairs them with Chile. Rather with Peru and Bolivia, so it's a group they'd expect to come through. Brazil and Venezuela. And also Chile. So both teams will be expecting to go on to the World Cup finals in Italy next year, along of course with Argentina, who will be there as defending champions. There's Paz. Foul by Ricardo. He felt he'd won the ball fairly. The referee didn't agree. Another free kick to Uruguay. They're looking to come back strongly here and put some pressure on Taffarel in the Brazilian goal. 10 minutes into the second half. Brazil 1, Uruguay 0, here in the final of the America Cup. The shot got through, but gathered comfortably by Taffarel. Hit by Sosa.
Not the best of walls, it split and then the ball went through the middle. Luckily it was straight at the goalkeeper.
Aldair for Brazil. Ostalaza finding Paz. Now Francesco Lee. Crunching tackle, this time by Branco, which has left Francesco Lee distraught on the ground. And a foul then by Alzamendi, who says, what about the earlier one, ref? Or words to that effect.
Well, it was a long, I mean, it really was a hard, long-legged tackle. I mean, a lot of referees would have given a foul there. I mean, I think he took his legs rather than the ball.
Silas. Bebeto's header. Silas again. Throw to Brazil.
I mean, personally, I think that Uruguay, if they're going to get this equaliser, they're going to have to go in behind those two attacking fullbacks more and get the ball in behind Mazinho and Branco when they break forward and see if they can get fine space there. But for some unknown reason, they're attacking down the middle, which is going to suit the Brazilians, because the two centre-halves can just sit there and just block it all off. You know, if they can pick the ball up early and stick the ball in the back of Mazinho, I think they might get a bit of joy.
Francesco Lee played his defenders into trouble then. Flick through for Bebeto. Did he handle it? The referee says no. Branco. Good cross, pulled back. And saved by Zioli. Header from Romario. He got up well then.
Tell you what, he did get up well for a small guy.
He's got up above the defender.
He got up very early as well. He got up above him, so as the defender came up, he held him in the air.
Romario, who can't be much more than, what, 5'7"?
That's all, the most.
Silas. Aldair. Finding Branco with some room now. Romario ahead of him. Here's Romario.
This is where it's got to go in behind Branco, quick.
Alzamendi. Wanted too long. He was fouled anyway, but the momentum, the pace of the attack had died a little anyway. Paz. De Leon. And it's going to be a corner to Uruguay.
You would think with all these tall guys that the Uruguayans could cash in on these corners. I mean, they must have at least 6 players well over the 6 foot tall mark.
They've sent Gutierrez up. Taffarel was in the right place. And here's Romario. Past Herrera. Good interception though by Dominguez. Here's Sosa. The referee stopping play for the free kick. Gutierrez to Dominguez. Foul then by Alzamendi.
He hasn't done much, Alzamendi. I would be thinking they'd be thinking about looking for someone new, someone with a fresh pair of legs to give it a little bit of life up the front.
A quarter an hour gone in the second half. Brazil leading by a goal to nil. The goal from Romario. Valdo. Another sweet interchange of passes. Just too long for Mazinho. There's De Leon. And he is such a sound and solid defender, De Leon. Good play by Valdo. De Leon again. Not a bad defender, Don, is he?
He's a good player. He could play in the Brazilian team quite easy. He's a good defender and he's good on the ball. He's quite happy to be on the ball. I mean, he tried to work his way out of trouble there.
Francescoli brought down by Mazinho. And they've closed Francescoli down so quickly, have the Brazilians.
Yes.
He's had few opportunities, Francescoli, to show that explosive best of pace that he has. Romario, great turn away from Herrera. Bebeto. The flag was up for offside. Rather casual from Paz. Francescoli couldn't get the better of Ricardo. Ruben Paz for Uruguay. Alzamendi. And then Branco away for Brazil. Up towards Romario. He's got past Gutierrez. He got back at him.
I think what's outstanding with these games is how skillful they are. The players are close to the touchline. You tend to think, oh, that's going to go outside for a throw-in or whatever it is. But somehow they manage to keep it on the pitch and show a hell of a lot of skill and lovely little touches.
Seemed no way that he could get clear then. And all of a sudden he's away from Gutierrez. Valdo with the corner. Brazil looking for a second goal. Certainly can't rely on just the one against a team of Uruguay's strength and striking qualities, as we've seen from the wins over Argentina and Paraguay. Sosa. Another free kick to Uruguay. De Leon there, number 3, has come forward again, organising the free kick with Paz.
Ruben Paz wants the centre-backs to get up.
Paz with the free kick. Taffarel with the save. Valdo now operating down the left for Brazil. Branco did well, resisted the challenge from Herrera. Still Branco.
Good recovery tackle. Very good recovery tackle.
Paz to Dominguez. Sosa. Here's Paz. The Uruguayans looking to raise their game. And they'll have to. They're going to beat Brazil. We're a goal up here, almost 20 minutes into the second half. The final of the America Cup to decide the Championship of South America. Valdo. And Uruguay have another substitute on, Correa. Number 8. Sosa kept his balance well then. He was tripped. But Uruguay have the advantage, taken up here by Francesco Lee. Now Herrera. Still the contest wide open, just the one goal between the two teams. Francesco Lee. Brazil doing a firm job defensively to deny Uruguay.
That's what Uruguay have got to do. If there is going to be an equaliser, they've got to get bodies forward.
The two substitutions made by Uruguay, none as yet by Brazil. Romario and Mauro Galvao exchanging words then. It's Romario's goal that has Brazil leading here with a quarter of an hour of the final to go. And we are calling it a final, although it's the league system. This match decides which team will win the title. Aldair. Away by Herrera. Valdo. Bebeto. Almost got Romario in.
That was a touch of Brazilian class, that little bit of one touch and clever flicks.
But here's the strong break by Elzamendi. Rather unlucky then. If he'd taken that in his stride, that could have been a serious threat to the Brazilian goal. But as we've said in other games, Don, so many of the Brazilian players in this side remind you of the stars of old with their touch.
Yes, without a doubt. I mean, the last few years, the Brazilian team hasn't been too good, to be honest. And I think they've struggled. And they've disappointed a lot of people. But this one seems to have individual personalities, good teamwork. And obviously there's going to be a few names here that's going to go down now and people are going to remember, like Romario and Bebeto, and we all know Correa when he starts to play, and Dunga in midfield. I like Silas, I like Valdo.
It's hard really to spot a weakness.
Yes, it is. I love the two fullbacks, Mazinho and Branco.
This is Gutierrez for Uruguay. Defending champions from 2 years ago. Are they going to hold on to their title? Or will it go to Brazil? Here's Herrera. Correa beaten. Valdo. Dunga pointed out to him that Mazinho had got away down the right. And here's Mazinho now. Silas. Offside, Romario. But it was offside, but it was a lovely finish.
A real touch of skill, I mean, absolutely super. He knew he was offside, but
just look at this again though. Silas knocking it through.
Little touch up, and then a lift over the goalkeeper's head.
Dominguez. Uruguay still have time. Here's De Leon. Getting defenders up from the back anyway. De Leon has certainly come forward on a good few occasions in the second half. But they need some inspiration from somewhere. They still really haven't extended Taffarel all that often, have they?
No, they haven't. No, they're doing nothing at all down the flanks. Virtually nothing down the flanks. They're attacking through the middle, and the Brazilians are looking after it quite well, having no real problems with it. The occasional free kick. You'd have thought they'd have thrown a lot more people at least down the flanks. I mean, Herrera, the right back, who did very well against Argentina, we've hardly seen him. And yet the Brazilian right back, Mazinho, as soon as he gets the chance, he's off. And he's hard to contain.
The play being held up while Aldair, the player down there, receives some attention, although nobody seems to be coming on to treat him. Well, in fact, a stretcher has now arrived, so might be a serious injury here for Aldair. There's the tackle again. Oh, and the foot was high
and nasty, yes.
Perdomo. Foot was up high. So to generous applause around the stadium. Aldair. Oh, it's not Aldair. It must have been Mazinho then.
Mazinho, the crowd is shouting Mazinho.
I thought it was Aldair, but it's Mazinho, the player who's injured.
Well, they'll miss him.
Oh, we're just talking about his marauding runs down the flank. Foul then on Branco by Alzamendi. So the Brazilians will have some switching around to do, some readjusting, if they're to hold on for the last 10 minutes of this game, which they lead by 1-0. A goal from Romario early in the second half. Herrera. De Leon. De Leon himself is taking the free kick. Spending a far amount of time at the moment in the Brazilian half is the Uruguayan defender. Brazil anxious now not to commit any errors that would allow Uruguay back into the game. Branco with a throw. Correa with Perdomo. There's Correa. Francesco Lee. Now Herrera. A rare break for him. He's done well, and Francesco Lee just denied at the last by Branco, who's had an outstanding tournament. Francesco Lee just beaten to the ball then by Branco.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He got out the way quick.
Sosa with the corner. Time for Valdo to clear. Silas. Here's Bebeto. Now for Valdo. Here's Bebeto. Silas with the cross in. And the shot will save Bebeto. Francesco Lee. Here's Sosa. Delicate chip. Francesco Lee chasing. Taffarel, with a huge relief for the crowd, arrives there first. Quick to spot the potential danger then. Branco is fouled. Mazinho, the other fullback, is now back on the field. So the injury can't have been quite as severe as it looked. Branco takes the free kick for Brazil. 1-0 up. Just over 5 minutes left. And this, the final of the America Cup. Dunga. Taking no chances. With Brazil so close to taking the championship. Mazinho riding the tackles so well. Here's Valdo. Superb skill by Valdo. Deserved better. Correa. Alzamendi. Is the one goal going to be enough? Sosa hopes not. But the Brazilians play themselves out of trouble again. Here's Dunga. Now for Bebeto. Valdo. Possession start for Brazil. But they've lost it now. Herrera. Flags up against Sosa. Offside. We're into the last 5 minutes. Exciting climax to the America Cup. All on the last game. And down now to the last few minutes as Valdo looks for some treatment. Down to the last 5 minutes to decide where the championship will end up. Brazil, the holders, the hosts rather, against the holders Uruguay. No sign of Valdo getting up. On comes the stretcher again.
Well, they seem to do this a lot. They seem to. What happened here? There's a collision and he walks all over him.
Yeah, he was trampled there.
And they take him off, and I think they just give them a quick rub down with a sponge, and then they're back on.
Mazinho certainly made a quick reappearance.
Yes, he did.
Well, Alemao has come on, so Valdo anyway is taking no more part in the game. Another sub here. Play is going on. And it's getting desperate now for Uruguay. Alemao from the '86 World Cup side. Back after a lengthy illness. They want to take Silas off and bring on the Teodoro. Josimar, of course, he's known as.
But he's a left back, Peter. They'll push Branco into left half.
Branco's cross. Josimar, also from the '86 side.
No, he's got in at right back, I think.
Yeah, I think he was right back.
Yes.
I think he was right back,
yep.
actually. Branco mainly played on the left in '86.
I know he scored that outstanding goal against Hadjerins.
The Brazilians, of course, all known by different names, and The name Josimar doesn't appear on the team sheet, all sorts of other names, but I can't see Josimar among them anywhere. It's obviously the name that he's known by. In the same way that Pele was Edson Arantes do Nascimento.
That's right.
I remember that one.
There was talk of him being transferred to England a few months ago.
Josimar.
Yes, I don't know when that's fell through now.
2 minutes left. Uruguay have a free kick. They're a goal down. The kick taken by Herrera. Will Brazil hold on now? They've got the free kick. Some pushing going on in the penalty area. So it's looking now as if Brazil are going to be the new South American champions. But they've got to see out the last 90 seconds or so first. So important to do well in this tournament as part of their preparations for the World Cup, to which they attach so much significance. It would be unthinkable in Brazil for their team not to qualify for the World Cup finals. They're the only nation to have played in every one. But it means a great deal to them too to be successful in their own domestic South American championship. But it's not finished yet. Here's Herrera. Rather hopefully towards that 18-yard area. Sosa couldn't get in. Here's Alemao. Fresh legs for Brazil. Alemao and Josimar on. Alemao. Whistle's gone though. Free kick to Uruguay. De Leon anxious to get on with it. Here's De Leon now. Such an inspirational figure for Uruguay. But on the day, it's looking as if Brazil are going to finish on top. Josimar. Mazinho striding away. Here's Josimar. Bebeto going in. It's Yoli with a long throw upfield. Only a few seconds left now, surely. The crowd anticipating a win for Brazil. Great scenes of triumph and celebration around the stadium. Let's hope for their sake they're not premature. Romario, the goal scorer. Dunga. Cut out by Herrera. There's still time, but not much of it left now. Alzamendi. The referee looking at the watch. It's almost over. It is now. And Brazil have won the America Cup. Wild scenes of joy. That's the coach Lazaroni, a great moment for him. He's only been in charge a few months. Part of his brief to succeed in this tournament, the other part to take his team to stage a serious threat, a serious challenge for the World Cup in Italy. And I think we've seen enough of Brazil in this tournament to suggest that they're going to certainly be in there with a chance when the action starts next year in Italy. Don Howe, impressed with Brazil?
Yes, very much so. And it's always pleasing for football. I know it's all in South America, but if Brazil come up with a good team, you know, I mean, they inspire everybody else to play with skill and ability, and they're a terrific example to the rest of the world in how the game should be played. So, and I thought they would, at the end of the game, I thought they deserved to win it, without a doubt they did.
Well, I think some people were asking beforehand, how important is this tournament to the teams taking part, and to the Brazilians in particular. I think their smiles tell you just how much significance they do attach to it.
Well, I think it's a similar competition to our European nations competition, and everybody goes there to win the thing to start with. I mean, we take it as seriously as what we take the World Cup, and I would think over there in South America. I mean, they know the World Cup's next year, but this is important to them because they want to be champions of South America. So, I mean, obviously they put everything into it.
Well, here is the goal set up by Mazinho after Bebeto's little pass before that. Romario with that terrific finish goal coming earlier in the half, almost just about 4 or 5 minutes into the second half. And it means that Brazil, with that 1-0 win, finish on top of the final group. Maximum points from their 3 games. Uruguay beaten just the 1 game, then 4 points. In third place, Argentina, with a better goal difference than Paraguay. That match played earlier this evening finished in a goalless draw. So the scenes of celebration still going on here. The players being interviewed by just about everybody who wants to talk to them. Alemao there, the substitute who came on towards the end, and there the goal scorer, Romario. Branco, who did such a fine, a sterling job for Brazil. But then really looking through the whole side, Don, nearly all of them really can look back on this with a lot of pride.
Yes, I mean, the 2 full-backs, Mazinho and Branco, great attacking players. In midfield, Valdo, Dunga. I mean, they all look good players. Bebeto up front, the boy they're interviewing now, Romario.
Great flick there from Bebeto. Yes. Little touch inside. There's Mazinho.
It's a great goal, but I'm very impressed with Bebeto. He's more mobile than Romario. You know, he can get round, he can get down the flanks, he can get back when he breaks down. Obviously, Romario is a good player, but Bebeto he's kind of more mobile.
And if you were the coach of Brazil, Lazaroni, and you looked at this side, you've still got Correca on the sidelines there. You must be feeling reasonably confident about the World Cup matches to come.
I think they've got to qualify for the World Cup yet, incidentally, but I would think that he'll be going to Italy thinking, yeah, I've got a chance of winning this award.
In Uruguay, they also still have to qualify, but they've shown their potential in this tournament.
Uruguay, they're a hard, tough team. They are skillful. I mean, they're very, very skillful, whatever you say about them, and they also have got the individual players, like Francescoli and Sosa and Ruben Paz. It's just a pity they resort to this kind of real nasty, tough type of a game, you know, and really they're a lot more skillful than what they show. I don't know. I suppose it must be the characteristics of their country, because it is a hard life in that country.
Well, these are the 2 sides who've emerged as the strongest in the tournament, Brazil and Uruguay, but also, of course, we've had Paraguay and Argentina who will be defending the World Cup next year. What do you feel now are their chances?
Well, Argentina were very disappointing, and on this showing of the 2 games I've seen is that they do look, like everybody says, a one-man team. I mean, a lot of people said that they're in the World Cup, especially when we lost to them, that if we'd had Maradona instead of the Argentinians had Maradona, we'd have won the World Cup. And it might have been true, because having seen them, even with him this time, they're not much of a side at the moment. I would think their manager's got a lot to do.
Well, it's Brazil then who've come out on top in this America Cup 1989 tournament. Uruguay, winners back in 87, haven't made it this time. And there is the trophy about to be presented to Brazil. And this is the moment that the Brazilian fans have waited a long time for, 40 years. That's amazing, Don.
Yeah, it is. I mean, with a record like theirs, you'd have thought they'd have won this about kind of a dozen times. It just shows you really that perhaps internally they're not as strong as when they get. I mean, they've won it this time, and all credit to them. And like you say, it's for 40 years, but perhaps internally within South America they haven't been as good as what they've shown at World Cup football.
For Uruguay, they've won it 13 times. But Brazil, not since the late 1940s. And that's the moment that Romario has given them the trophy they'll treasure so much. We're seeing this for the umpteenth time, but it's a joy to watch, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lovely cross, and it's a great running off the ball. He's lost his defender, and he just nips across the goalkeeper, and really there's nothing the goalkeeper can do.
But certainly we've seen...
It's a lovely return pass there. And watch the way he drives and at the same time spins it into that near post.
We've certainly seen moments reminiscent of the great Brazilian sides down the years. And they'll go into the World Cup qualifying games with a lot of confidence. The first of those against Venezuela, which you can see here on Screen Sport on the 30th of this month. The interviews still going on here in this packed stadium. The Brazilian fans have come here expecting and hoping for a Brazilian triumph, and they've seen one too.
I think what it will do, Peter, is it will alert the rest of the world to how good they are and how good these individual players are. And that always makes it that little bit harder. You know, you tend to think, well, perhaps if they ended it this time and they got this same team together this time next year and they go into it virtually unknown to the rest of the world, they could surprise everybody and go win the World Cup. Now everybody says, hey, listen, you can bet a lot of the managers are over there watching this tournament, national team coaches, and they'll be alerted to what a good team they're building now and what good individual players and how to cope with them.
There is Ricardo holding aloft the America Cup, the championship of South America, won by Brazil after their single goal triumph here in the final match against Uruguay. Romario, the goal scorer. And I just wonder, looking on there now then, Don, as England coach, what your thoughts would be if you had to face this Brazilian side now.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we'd have to shut off the two fullbacks, but I think for instance John Barnes would give Mazinho more of a problem defending wise than say what Uruguay have done, and say Chrissy Waddle on the right wing would give Branco a little bit more to think about. So you can be positive with your tactics against them and say, well, okay, like we'll stop them going forward, but we won't stop them going forward negatively. We'll put good players together against them, and let's see how they can cope with it.
Well, that's what it's all about. The America Cup, which has been won by Brazil in some style. They've come through the entire tournament unbeaten, and they haven't conceded a goal in the final matches either. Some great football from the Brazilians. Indeed, it's been an outstanding tournament. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of it, and we leave you with the goals that have taken Brazil to this latest triumph. From us all here, goodbye for now.